I wish good thing to you who watch this. I am Helix, one of the frequent Carcassonne player on Board Game Arena. Today I'm going to share some of my experience on how to play the Board Game Arena Carcassonne game with a certain seriousness and climb up in the L point rating. So first of all, not to be proud or be arrogant, I want to show you my current achievement in board game arena in this specific game on Carcassonne. So I'm right now above 600 ELO point, which is kind of an expert rating. So I'm not yet being the top ranked master player on the ELO rank. And in my profile, I'm trying to play more frequency in past 2 years, and it's only until very recent half year I can reach the level of 600 and above for 2 times. So one is a half year ago, I somehow get lucky and climb up with a very deep slope and become 600. And due to a little bit of defeat, I dropped down below 500 within a week or so, which is very discouraging. And then I tried to struggle for a while, and somehow I play more actively and seriously in recent game, and I get up my elo pretty quick. So today I'm trying to share how can I maintain my momentum on victory by showing some of my recent game. So as you can see, I have been playing quite consistently in previous day, on today, yesterday, and so on. So, and of course, based on the outcome, you can see the ELO points are growing generally, with most of the games are victory and only a few games being losses. So that is pretty normal, because when you do a random match either on a simple game or on an arena, most of the opponent you draw would be on FH ELO rating of 300 or below. So which means that most of the player are not as professional as I was in being an expert rated ELO player. So today in this tutorial, I mean in this sharing session, I would more focus on those defeats I encounter, and showing you that this Carcassonne gameplay is not only about luck or about tile conflict, but sometimes even in the most unlucky situation, there would be certain winning path that you may be escape from, and you would yeah, the major lesson learned is that we should always learn from our mistake, but not just keep blaming on the bad luck and bad luck. So let's go through the first game, which is today's game. I lose 4 points 4 points against my opponent Hubert, and Hubert is also a expert player, so it is not a shame that I lose to him. And before I start the replay, yeah, I can just show you the final position of this game. And let me choose this player, and then we can see what could have been done better if I foresee the final outcome. So in this video, I will be more concentrated in the end game, I mean the final 20 move, rather than in the early game, because I find myself very I play a lot of games, so I can somehow manage the early game efficiency quite well, but eventually I lose the end game battle. So this is the final position of this particular gameplay. I lose by 4 points, while a majority of the factor contributed by this yellow farm, this shell farm. And the one of the unlucky thing happened to me is when I was encountering a big city fight here in the bottom in a mid game. pretty unfortunately, I cannot draw this triple city tile, this tile, which should have been drawn by my with over 75% chance. I think there were 3 tiles remaining. At the moment, I set up this cap and trying to close off this big bunch of city. By that moment, the only single triple city tile without a wall is this one. And all the triple city tile with a wall are out. I mean, these 3 are out. Yeah, but I still have 3 tile remaining to fit in. And all these 3 tile with 87.5% chance, all these 3 tile were drawn by my opponent, which is pretty unlucky. But since at the moment of the end game with around 20 tile remaining, I should foresee this unlucky occurrence may happen to me. And actually, the unlucky occurrence happened to almost all of my defeat. I mean, most of my losses. So if you feel like you are confident on Carcassonne's strategy and tactics, you should be able to overcome your bad luck and win the game even in a most unlucky situation. So that's how I try to persuade myself to improve. So let's go back to the game and see which particular move can have been reverse the game outcome. So in this moment when I decided to meeple the 4-pawn city and grab 4 quick pawn and try to make my blue monarchy in a more closable position, I should already foresee that the farm is very important. I mean, the farm here currently occupied by red already consists of 1, 2, and 3 small cities, and it could even expand in the final 18 tiles remain. So I should decide either to invest one of the 3 remaining meeple into the field for a farm wall or not to win with a farmless win. I should never assume this city would be complete. The reason why I should never assume this will be complete is because the completion of this city already have the huge impact. I mean, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 times 2, it would be around 38 point difference. Bring to my whole game, which can conceal the win. So I should assume I will never draw it. It's either being boarded or vice versa. I should not be too confident, even there are still 2 tiles to fit into the connection spot. So by that time, when red is trying to do something like this, I already sense the huge alert that I must do something on the farm, because right now the farm has already 9 pawn. Whenever these 2 small cities get closure, I mean both this and this get closure, then I may be screwed. So the moment here I decided to do something like this is premature. First of all, this is a net 1 pawn move if I fail to invade the farm. So this will somehow bring me more challenging position. And even, I decided to repo the city to get the 4 pawn instead of doing the farm attack. But even I chose to do the farm attack, it is also premature, because at the moment I paste this tile, I didn't really count how many tiles can fit into this square. So now in payback, I can tell you there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I didn't miscount, there are 7 strict rows are already out. So there is only 1 remaining strict row here, together with the 1 remaining T-shape cross row. in order to fit into this square. So the connection square here is only 2 spots. So this is not a very good farm attack platform. And that is something that I want you to know. The reason why I point out now, because this should be being considered at the moment when I decide whether to spend this city cap with a crossbow here or spend it wisely to close my row and retrieve a meeple. If I would have retrieved the meeple, then I would have more meeple in order to grab some small pawn at the end game, and I could have changed the defeat into victory because the net difference is only 4 points after all. So let's continue to see what is my second problem. So this move is just a normal blocking attempt, which I don't consider as a huge problem. If I have not done so, then my opponent would have been using the right-handed dagger, I mean this one, in order to close the city here. And that would be a misfortune for me. So this is something that I need to do so, and this is also a complete board. And then there are certain quick pawns being grabbed. And this curve, I decide to also put some pressure on the red city meeple in order to trap its meeple and also avoiding the expansion of the farm as the farm is being going back. But at the certain moment, I decide to also meeple this row. I believe that there is still a chance that I can slip in with something, but essentially the probability of getting this T-shaped crossbow is only half. So as I mentioned, the strict row are somehow out, and there is only one strict row and one T-shaped crossbow can connecting my farmer there. So I do think maybe there is another choice here in order to farm with the 2 remaining monarchy. It would be somehow more convincing. Yeah, but anyway, what it is. I mean, if probability wise, if I place this curve here and farm it here, I would have 2 remaining monarchy, as there is only 4 monarchy, and also those 2 beautiful city cap can help me to do the connection. So this is not quite, I mean, by innovatively, it seems like this spot is harder because it's surrounded by P-side farm, but based on the remaining tile, actually this one is much easier for farm invasion. And if I do so, then I could have already win the farm war. And if I can invade the farm, then I no longer need to afraid of the completion of this small city. So this is another misjudgment without detailed counting of the remaining tile. And furthermore, I also I also spend some move on doing some unuseful quick pawn. But instead of getting this 3 quick pawn, I could have done whatever I just said by leveraging my meeple advantage to farm it here, so that when I grab one of the 2 remaining monarchy or the city cap, 3 square can fit into here to do the farm connection. So basically, I have a certain probability to grab the farm and seal the win without the necessity to complete this thing. And actually, the probability of connecting the farm here is not only 80%, because I'm already assuming that my opponent will grab the 3-sided city, which means that 2 of the remaining 5 or 6 tile of my opponent would be the 3-sided city. So the probability that I grab a monarchy or a city cap is very big in given the condition that I didn't commit the city. So I either need the farm or or the big city in order to win this game. So why do I score these 3 points? Why do I need those small points? I don't think those small points can come back. Can make a big difference to have a fairness win. So it's also another mistake that I never count the point difference. Basically, by counting the point difference, I would know that this small monarchy is somehow compensated by this city. And assuming this thing is stuck, then the field would be the one bring the win for the West victory, which those 2-3 small points doesn't matter. This is not a position that I can win by a fairness condition. If I have noticed so, then I would not just raise a move here. And now I only have 5 moves remaining. And still I didn't foresee the problem. And by this moment, I still want to go into the farm invasion. Not right now, unfortunately. I still being too greedy on grabbing small pawn. In addition to the 3 more pawn, I grab 5 monarchy pawns somehow there, which is not enough. So by the moment I draw the remaining city tile, these juicy spots are already out. So as you can see what I'm saying, if I were to put a meeple here by a curve, then either this monarchy or this cap could be already becoming a connection platform. But as I didn't do so, there was only 1 remaining monarchy, and I miscounted it during the game. I thought there are still 2 monarchy because I forgot that I just spent 1 of it here. So actually there's only 1 monarchy who can help me to do the connection spot on either here or here. And also the city cap are all out right now. So I also miscount the city cap in the game. I think it's quite difficult to count the city cap, so that usually I will check all the city cap during the game. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4 city cap somehow, and this is the 5th city cap. So basically the only spot which can fit into here is only the remaining monarchy. This means that the final meeple I try to gamble here is only have 50% chance to getting this spot. But by this time, I still think I am in a good position because I can either draw this remaining triple city on here to win, or I can draw the monarchy to win. So it's still a good chance. However, this move not happening. And there are something else I could have done better. Like if I were to grab city pawn, like what I did before, to like grab 4 more city pawn with these 2 tiles, then I could have something about to have some counter field also. Yeah, but what it is, I don't know. This kind of low pawn being grabbed by others, and also not getting the triple tile, and all the unlucky stuff continue to happen to me. So the tile that is in my opponent's favor is somehow drawn by me, so at least I prevent my opponent to grab 1 more city, which is a lot of pawns. So I cannot bring all my luck not good, extend my roll and so on. But still, after the final monarchy is meepled by my opponent, in the past series of moves, I somehow find myself kind of waste this farmer, and also not better use of my meeple advantage to get the farm war complete. And basically this defeat is to be blamed by the careless with not series tile counting also. So this cost me the game. And although as you can see, there are certain unlucky moments, like I'm not drawing all the triple city without a wall and stuff like that. But there were chances that I can still win the big farm and win the game if I have been done otherwise. And I want to also show you other games, not only that game, but other unlucky games. Even I was unlucky to get certain people get trapped also, I could still have the winning condition, but I just waste it. So this is another game I lose recently. So I have go through the first defeat, then I go to the second defeat. It is a 2-point loss with Vettini, Lavinti, and this game, in this position, we both have 2 meeple left, and I decide to do a farming, which is premature because this farm is not an urgent farm. So somehow, right now I already saw that I lose the farm more, or kind of lose the farm more, based on this big field with, I mean the wet field, as you can see. 2 red meeple farmed here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 computer city, and there may be some more computer city here. So this is the field fight that I could have worked for. Basically, I can start the field fighting like here. I mean, if I didn't deploy my second last meeple onto the counter field, I could have deployed my counter farmer here, for example, or another orientation, depending on which one have more chance to shoot this square. Yeah, so I should not immediately do the counter field, because the counter field can be directly compensated by the red farmer here by 2 moves. So basically, the counter field strategy doesn't work out when I'm not in a meeple advantage. And this is the first first mistake I have made, and you can see the counter field strategy immediately is zero out. And then in order to grab back meeple for field fighting, I need to spend 1 more move to get back my city meeple, and then I try to do the field fighting. In order to win the field fight, I should spend my remaining turns wisely here, I mean on the field, but not grabbing these 2 pawns. I mean, by grabbing these 2 pawns, one of my, instead of 3 pawns here, one of my intention is to delay the potential connection from the red farmer to the blue farmer, but this is only 3 pawn difference. So I don't think this is the crucial for the entire game. The crucial that I need to do is either I want to invade the field, then I should immediately bot, I mean to make sure this red meeple do not connect into the field. And this can be achievable because all the curves are out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think that there are certain curves I miscount, but somehow I could have done it by putting the square tile there instead of doing this quick win. And this move are not too bad, and yeah, and then the curve are out later. Sorry, I forgot. So I also grab 1 more monarchy meeple. In this moment, I already have only 6 moves remaining, but with 3 meeple servers. So I delay my field fight by retrieving enough bullet, but I cannot send them wisely in the next move. I mean, they essentially connect the farm, so I need to disconnect the farm. And by that time, I also do not count exact win condition. So after the fact, we know that I lose this game only by 2 points. So it means that this game I can win with a farmless condition. So as long as I get enough quick pawns, I do not necessarily need the big farm, and I should have merged the two farm so that the farm pawn of this red meeple got deducted. But instead, at this very moment, I somehow decided to disconnect the two farmer because of the chance that I can do so. I mean, because as I say, the curve are all out. So by placing something like this, both the curve and both monarchy are not fitting. I can make sure the red farmer at the bottom cannot connect to the main field, but the turns remaining are not sufficient. I somehow spend too many time on retrieving three meeple on hands, but I didn't react promptly for the field fight, and I do not draw a correct tile for field fight, so I somehow waste a meeple on something that is not important by creating another threat to threaten finishing a lumber city. And because I want to have my winning condition flexible, so I'm not sure whether this is a correct move or a wrong move, but I may not need to meeple it because as long as I don't get the remaining two triangle city, I cannot complete this city. So it is not a urgent move that I should have meeple it right away. And similarly, red do not meeple another one. So if I do not meeple this one, then I could have used a city meeple on a bigger one with more pawn rather than stuck with this 3-pawn one. And here I'm grabbing the 1 pawn by eliminating a city cap here, grabbing 1 pawn because I get 4 pawn and red get 3 farm pawn. So I'm still feeling that I have the time to do the invasion, which is not true. Actually, if I want to invade the farm, this tile, although looking awkward, it should be the only perfect moment or the final moment that I could have invaded the farm. Yeah, it is not trivial why I should invade the farm right now here in this farming spot and look forward to a straight row to connect it. Yeah, but it would be more trivial if you know what is the remaining tile on the deck. So the remaining tile on the deck actually only have 1 straight row, which would be coming to my hand soon. And this particular move tell me that the only connection block below. I mean, it is already eliminated the above connection spot, so I can only rely on this strict row to come. And if I would have placed the not to become so greedy on this stuff or this stuff, then I could have already invaded the farm successfully. So sometimes I could do a greedy move and sometimes I should not earn that quick pawn if the farm is on other people's field. I should make sure the farm is invaded first as I already spent variable tile. I mean I sacrifice at least 1 pawn here in order to make sure this red meeple is disconnected. So I should pursue my propaganda on the left hand side and do the farm invasion before anything else. I should not give 1 more completed city to my opponent's farm. That is my major mistake of this game. And then obviously, if I do realize that the farm invasion probability is so slow, I also should not try to invade the farm anymore. If I could have preserved this meeple to, let's say, meeple a 3-pawn mode here, I would have also enough pawn to win, as I only lose the game by 2 pawns. So I didn't count the pawn difference, and I didn't foresee this obviously blocking attack can be placed by my opponent right away. So actually, I don't have any chance. As you can see, after this move, of course, I cannot connect to the farm, but even without this blocking attempt, I do not draw any good tile to connect to the farm. So after all, I can only continue to do some meaningless struggle and letting my opponent to grab a bigger wound than I do. And then that's how my opponent draw the final luckiest tile. I mean this lucky tile, although my opponent do not have any meeple, but this lucky tile being the opponent both farm 3 points each, so which win the game. So if the opponent is not that lucky, if the opponent draw this tile instead of this starting tile, of course I could still have win the game, but how could I say? I should be able to prevent all this stuff happen. At the moment when I do the farming of this blue meeple, you could have seen that the only tile that can fit in as a connection is this starting tile, and I need to immediately draw this without trying to block me, so it's almost no chance. So if I didn't raise this meeple here, I could have used this meeple wisely on night fake wound or stuff, which could have made me certain better difference. And that's why I would say this is an unlucky game, but I didn't play well enough to overcome with my misfortune. And similarly, let's move on to another of my defeat. So basically, all this defeat, I can see a common pattern. My opponent draw whatever they want to draw, they can compete good feature like this. Yeah, and I am not lucky to draw good thing. I try to do the quick point gamble, pre-building monastery spot, which is supposed to be effective because there are one Rome monastery and one pure monastery, both can fit here, and even if it is attacked by my opponent, there would be a chance that I can compete with half chance. Unluckily, my opponent draw that remaining one more monastery and use the roll to attack me, so which means that this people is deceased. So by that time, I can foresee I am not in very good position and kind of bad luck. So the problem, somehow I get stuck is here. I let my city get trapped. So in order to get out of bad luck, I may need to consider how I can win whatever the farm or big stuff. So I decide to raise a tile here and not doing anything meaningful. And then my opponent trying to do the complete block for my final city and farm. So I also raised another monastery to do a counter block to his role. And obviously, I could have used this to do something. If I could have used this to do something onto here, then maybe this is a better chance compared to saving my own city here. So let's see how many tiles here are remaining. So there's one crossroad. So there are two crossroads remaining, fine. But even if the yellow opponent draw the crossroad and retrieve the monastery, at least the delta of the long row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points will belong to me, as compared to the straight line sharing my row. But I forego the 5 points in order to preserve the chance that I grab this one. So maybe I do grab this one, I think. Yeah, is it a correct move? That's I doubt. So let's continue. And yeah, they do complete it and earn the 5 pawn delta. But it seems I also grab the thing I need. So which implies that if I do vice versa, I could not be able to meeple this normal and city. So this move is not a bad move. I mean it did serve the original purpose. So I'm losing due to other stuff. So this is a lucky moment that my opponent draw the remaining one single city cap in order to invade the field, but I should have predicted that could happen. And problem is my opponent have more meeple than I do right now after retrieving the long move. So I need to get back certain meeple in order to do farm war or whatever I need. But the point is the game is almost ending. So with so many meeple on hand but 8 tile remaining, we need to spend every single meeple very efficiently. And that's the challenge both my opponent and myself are encountering. You can see my opponent are trying to meeple the wall here now. So let's see how it turns out. So this is the art. I remember why I need to show this game. So all previous comments here are not even important. So at this moment, by just counting the pawn difference, I could see that just by securing this monarchy and also this small farm here, I mean this farm has certainly 9 pawn, I am almost okay as long as the big field, I mean the big field here, are not being stolen by the opponent. I mean the big field here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 city pawn, I mean 6 city, 18 pawn farm. As long as these 18 pawn are not being stolen by my ahead in the scoreboard and everything is all okay. So actually I do not necessarily need to use my meeple on the city, but I should use it on the farm. If I had used it on the farm, then I would be somehow securing the win. Or if I don't paste this thing here, I just paste it anywhere elsewhere like here into my main farm, then I can also secure my win. And the point is I didn't realize this risk. As you can see, the next move, my opponent are also doing something not very important somehow. He is not farming, he is just grabbing some quick pawns from a wound. And then I still waste my time on scoring 3 quick roll pawn at the end game. While the end game, I should focus on finding the winning condition of my opponent. And if I don't find it and my opponent find it, then I'm doomed. You see, boom. And this is how my opponent leverage my connection platform that I create and not use here. Then he leverage it. Of course, there's only 3 tile remaining. The chance of getting connected is slim, but that's how I lose because as always, my opponent in a game I get defeated, my opponent will get the thing that they want to get. So you can see he grabbed 2 quick pawn, add a shielded city into his cap. I can only get this stupid stuff, but my opponent grabbed the final juicy curve to connect to the main field and bam, win the game. And that's how I cannot avoid. I mean, I cannot do anything at the final move because the field re-entry is already no time with 0 tile remaining. And I should have identified in a leading position that not letting my opponent to have any chance to come back by pure luck or conflict or even 10% chance. So this game, Carcassonne, is not winning by, I mean, it's not a game for you to optimize your pawn difference. You do not need to optimize your pawn difference. You can win your opponent by 3 pawns or 4 pawns. You don't need to win the opponent by 40 pawns. Yeah, but you need to minimize the losing probability. As you can see, after all this struggle, my opponent luckily at his final move to add 18 points on the scoreboard and just barely beat it and just win me by 2 points. So which means that all my waste of time on all these quick pawn like this stuff does not even really matter. I mean, all this quick pawn stuff does not even really matter if I lose the field. So I should not have created this field platform for my opponent to use, but I should farm it myself if I think this is a dangerous spot. Even though I cannot connect, at least the field is being shared but not being occupied. So let's go to the final game that I want to share of my defeat. So this is also another game that have a lot of variants. As you can see, many of the 9-pawn monarchy spot falling around the board, etc. And my opponent get all the lucky tile to almost complete their very big city. So I must do something trying to disrupt it, interrupt it, destroy it, but I didn't get the correct tile to do so. So he somehow protect it, and unfortunately I also have a big city on the top right, so it sounds to me is still very similar in the condition. We both have 2 meeple. I mean, analyzing the position, we both have 2 meeple, and we both have a almost completed huge city and stuff like that. And I have another almost completed city, but I think this one is already deceased. But anyway, let's see what I could have done better. So after retrieving this meeple, which is a must do, I have certain meeple advantage, but the opponent have a faster move on grabbing the counter field. So I am lucky. Oh yeah, actually this is not a deceased one. So I still get chance to meeple the roll and stuff. So but why do I this is the problem. Okay, so the reason why I record this video is that I always can find a move that I make a big mistake that it can otherwise win the losing game. So as you can see here, I am actually not that unlucky. I grabbed some good tile to finish the city, but at the same time I can grab 3 pawn roll. However, if I could have used my meeple not on the roll but on the field here, first of all I can get 6 pawn instead of 3 pawn. With 6 tile remaining and such a meeple surface, you can see 4 meeple after grabbing the city and the roll. What's the point for sacrificing the 3 pawn difference by getting back the meeple? I don't need the meeple, come on. And even further horrible is, this is not a 6 pawn field. This is a field that it can further invade into everything. And it will become a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 pawn field. And I just move too instinctively and I didn't think enough. And I just moved too fast, and that's how I lose the game. And that's what I want to point out. Most of the time when I lose the game, the critical move caused me the defeat is the move that I move super fast and not thinking long enough. That's why I should think very long. If I want to win every single game and come up my ELO, I should think long enough for every single game basically, and every single move. So of course I can say that I am hoping to complete this city or so. If I had the luck to get the triangle and complete the city, then I could have win, but anything that doesn't matter anymore. So not everyone get every tile that they like. Somehow the triangle will be on my opponent's hand like this, right? Somehow my opponent also do not being happy to get this juicy city completed. So that's life, right? So I cannot always foresee about the completion or not completion of the feature, but somehow I should be able to foresee that I am in meeple service here, which at 0 tile remaining, I cannot spend all of my meeple, but I still decided to rechip a meeple and sacrifice 3 points, and even further, I sacrifice the only chance to do the field invasion in order to somehow grab the farm. So this is the problem of this final game I want to share. So there are a lot of problems I have made, and I hope this can somehow convince you that Carcassonne is not only a pure game of luck. By winning many games, I somehow managed to de-risk the unlucky situation. But even so, I am sharing certain of the game I failed to do so, and that's how I got defeated with some lower ELO player. So of course, if you are in a tournament game with a highest ranking player on the world, the luck still depends a lot. But if there are enough significant difference between your rating and your opponent's rating, you should be overcoming the unlucky situation by placing much less mistake than a lower level player. So I hope you learn something from the game, and I may see you soon.